So this is a video showing how I printed a license plate on the new Surecolor V1070 from Epson. I have never, just as a disclosure, I have never made like a video before for this, so I'm just using my camera and no editing, so it's going to be what you get. So anyway, so I bought these black license plates here on Amazon for like a couple of bucks, not very much. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to line up the license plates. You're going to bring the license plates in. You're going to see there's a line here and a little line here. This is our 0 mark, so everything's going to come off of this edge right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to line up the line here, and I'm going to line up the bottom. I may have to do this adjusting a little bit here. So now we're lined up. So once it's lined up, you come up to the top, and this is your vacuum. So this is a vacuum table, it has holes in it, so that will suck your part down. You can also make jigs, like I made a jig for golf balls. So I designed this in CAD, and then I 3D printed, and I can do 35 golf balls with this in this machine with this jig. So it worked out really well. I've already been making golf balls. I also, believe it or not, have been using Legos for jigs. I have this Lego that I built up here because I'm printing on top of this cover, and I needed something to hold it up and also to repeat when it lays in every time. So I just made that little jig, and I'll put that jig. I actually taped it in the machine a little just to make it hold a little bit stronger in here. But anyway, let's get back to this. So we have the plate loaded, we have the vacuum on, you can hear it sucking it down. So we're going to close the machine. Now the first thing we got to do is we got to get the media height. So you can go into the media button and you can store your media heights in here. Like there I have for the sun cover that I just showed you over there. Since this is a new one, I'm just going to go in right now and just find this media height for this one. There's two ways you can do this. You can either, if you click on this, you can enter it manually. So if we go into manual, if you have measured the license plate and you know how thick it is, you can just enter that in here with the plus or minus buttons. Like this has already been set, so it is at 0.005. Or what I do most of the time is get measurement. If you hit get measurement on here, then the machine is actually going to come over and sense that part, and it's going to rise up until it gets to the top of it, and it's going to go over the top in case there's another height that it needs to sense, and then it's going to come over and it's going to put that information in here. And once it does that, you just hit OK. So you hit OK. Now you're ready. You're ready to print. That's it. You put in your part, you line it up, you set the media height. That's all you have to do here. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Now back at my computer, I do my design in CorelDRAW. If you do it in Adobe or other softwares, that's fine. It all works. Mainly what I want to do is I need to find out where the edges of my design is. What I did here is I designed the backing as a 6x12, which matches my license plate. So as we said earlier, the center or the 0 marks of the machine is in this corner. So what I need to do, when this imports into your print software, it's going to import it with this edge down here and this edge over here. So it's going to be right into that corner. So we're going to have to offset that in the print software so it knows where to print. So what I've done is I created a witness line here, snapped to that edge, and a witness line over here that snapped to that edge. So if I click on my witness line and I go up here in the corner, it's going to tell me that that's 2.22 inches from here. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down as 2.22 inches. Over here on this side, if I click on this line, it's going to give me 5.689. Now in CorelDRAW, my 0 is over here, not over here. But since I know this is 6 inches, all I got to do is take 6 inches, subtract this number from it, and that's going to give me my distance. So that distance ended up being 3.11. So now I have my horizontal offset and I have my vertical offset. And that's basically all I need to do here, except for I do need to export this file out. So I'm going to export that. And in CorelDRAW, I export this as a EPS. Now you can do it as a PNG. I just pretty much do everything as EPS for Epson, for my Epson printers. I also have a big 6400 over there that I print in I have a laminate machine and a die cutter over there. So I do stickers a lot with those machines. So you're going to export that as an EPS, and then that's all you have to do. So all you're doing in your design software is finding out where off center your part is to be able to print in the center of your license plate. So now that we have that, we're going to open up our Epson software. This is Epson Edge Print. This should have been loaded when you got the machine. The company I bought it from sent a tech guy out, and he set up the machine, loaded the software on my computer, and got everything running. Went over with me how to run some test parts and everything, and so it's all set up. So over here, you're going to see that there's a job list and a printed job. Now, if you go into your printed job, that's going to be jobs that you've already printed. I have a few, like my sun covers I had. So if I want to print more sun covers, all I do is come in here and click on sun covers. I go over to the machine and set the media. So I would set the media back to the setting that I had, and then I'm good to go. You just come up here and you hit reprint, okay? But since we're doing a new one, I'm going to job list, and we're going to add this new job. So I'm going to come in, add, and we're going to do this little test piece. We're going to open that, and it's going to be working for a little bit. And when it comes in, you're not going to see anything, so you actually have to click on the part, and then it's going to come in. Now, if you notice, like I said earlier, it snaps the design down to these edges, which again, that's the 0 of the machine. So we're going to have to offset that. So coming over to the right, you're going to see some rows of options that you can click on. When you click on one of these, it brings up a different screen here. So right now we're in basic settings, which is where you want to go. You don't even need to go to job info. I don't even mess with this page right now. So I go to basic settings. Now, the only thing that you really have to mess with in here is the number and order of layering, if I can pronounce that. So this is going to give you the option where you can print either color only, white only, varnish only, color white, color varnish gloss, color varnish matte. So you have your options of how you want to do it. Like if we were doing a white license plate on this, we would not need to print white. We could just come in here and do the color varnish. You don't need to do white. But since I'm doing black license plates, we have to print the white, or at least I found that I have to print white, color, and varnish. So you're going to print a white base, print the color on top of that, then print the color, the varnish. Now when you click on this, if you come back over here, you're going to see that it added 3 layers underneath the job. Because you can close this out and not see the layers, or you can open it and see the layers. So this is your white layer, your color layer, and your varnish layer. Now that's going to come into importance here later. Let's go back over here though, and let's get this set up in the right position to be able to print this. So like I said, in the basic setting, that's the only thing you need to change. You can come here. I haven't even messed with the Intellizen. I haven't even messed with it, so I'm not even sure if it does much or not. I don't really know. So sorry about that. Like I said, I'm still new to this. I'm still learning. I'm just trying to get stuff printing so I can make some money with this thing. So anyway, so I got the 3 settings. Now we're going to go in to layout. And this is where we're going to offset. Up here you can do some scaling to scale it or move it, scale it larger or smaller, which I did all that in my CorelDRAW, so I don't need to mess with any of that. Also all this here This is for like if you're going to arrange an interval and stuff. So if you want to do multiple parts. So the only thing that I am interested in right now is this left top position. And that's where our numbers that we wrote down are coming into play. So we're going to go into horizontal. So my horizontal number is the 0.311. So I'm going to type in 0.311. Now, you have to type 0.311. If I type 0.311, it's going to go to 8.3. Well, I typed in it wrong, but still, if I type in 0.311, it's going to put an 8 in front. It's going to put some weird number. It's not even going to put 0.311. So what you have to do, you have to be sure to type 0.311. And then when it goes in, it'll be at where you want it to be. Now, same thing with vertical. We need 2.22. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type 2.22. Now, since we typed the 2 in before, it's going to work. If it was like 0.22, then you would have to type 0.22. So we're going to do there. So now this should be at the location that we want it to be. Now this is not showing the white, the inside of that, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's because of the white layer. So if a good way you can kind of see this is, I know my license plate is 12 inches. So this 6 should be center on my design, which it is. And the same down here, my plate is 6 inches wide, so that 3-inch should be center of my graphics. So it is. So I'm all set up there. So now after setting that up, we want to go to our layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the white layer. If you look at here, there's nothing showing, because what we have to do, come over here. I don't mess with color settings. This should all be set before you start printing, so we don't need to mess with that. So I'm going to come down here to the layer setting. So this is going to show me the layer settings for only the white. And if you can see, there's nothing printing because the creation method is at none. So what we're going to do is, for my white, I only want to go under the image. I don't want to put white on the whole license plate. Okay, I'm just going to go to the image, and now it's going to change, so it's going to print just under the image. The color, you don't have to do anything. The color's all set. It has some layer positions and some things, but I don't even mess with it. Color. Now the varnish, you're going to do the same as you did with the white. You're going to go image only. Now there's a button here that says include white parts. What that is, if I go back to the white settings, if I had like a letter out here, like say the letter K that was in white, it would not pick up on that. What you'd have to do, you'd have to check that to include it, and then that letter will show up. So if you see part of your design that's not showing up in this, you need to click on the include white parts, and then it's going to come up over here. So now we're pretty much got everything we need. So just to rehash this, the only thing, when you bring your file in, all you need to do is go to basic settings, choose your number and order layering. That's all you have to do there. You go to layout, you put in your offsets so that your file, your graphics is in the right position. That's all you have to do. And then you go into layers, you click on this, go down to layer settings, and all you have to do is click on where you want that white to go, which for me on a black license plate, I only want it under the image. So just under the image. The color, you don't even mess with, you just leave it alone. Then you go down here to the varnish, you come back, same thing. I only want the varnish on my letters. Now if you want to varnish the whole license plate, or you can do that. This isn't set up. See, this isn't showing my license plate frame, so I'm not going to mess with that. So we just want to varnish on the image. Now you are all set. You come back over, click on your, if you look up here, you cannot print yet. So what you have to do, you have to print. You have to click on that. You can close that or leave it open, doesn't matter. Once you close this, you hit print. And now if your machine should be Wi-Fi'd up, so you're going to come over here and it just sent it over, and you're going to hit start. When you hit start, it's going to come in, it's going to print. Now one thing I noticed that it's going to print the white first, and then it's going to come in and print the color, and then it's going to come back, it's going to go across, I'm assuming with the varnish, and then it's going to come back and it's going to cross again. Now I'm not sure if it's printing varnish twice or really why, but it makes 4 passes on this. And once it's done, the machine is going to beep to tell you it shuts off. But then this thing, apparently the air in here gets very kind of toxic, so it's going to take 1 minute to filter the air. There's a filtration system. There is filters in here you will have to change, but it's going to filter the air through, and for 1 minute, and then you can open the lid. Now you can open the lid before that 1 minute. I wouldn't recommend it if you're in a hurry, I guess, and you're maybe wear a mask, because I don't know really how toxic these fumes are, but I can smell it. This is definitely a more smelling than, say, my 2270 here that I do for my DTF prints. This is not toxic at all. This is just an eco ink. Matter of fact, you don't have to worry with this. This is a different ink in this, and I can smell it. I'm smelling it right now, actually, and I'm not even printing. So anyway, you start your print. It's going to go, it's going to end, and you're going to have your part, and it's all finished. So that's basically it. It's not really that difficult to run this machine. It's what I love about it. It's so easy once it's set up. So anyway, I hope this helps someone. Sorry for not really knowing what I'm doing here with the video, but it looks like I at least made it through without bumbling too much. So anyway, have a great time. I hope you love your V1070 as much as I do. I'm having a blast making golf balls and license plates and all kinds of stuff. So enjoy.